This is Dream Chasers, episode 35, with Ellis Hammond. Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Adam Carswell, and welcome to Dream Chasers, Interviews with the Future. On Dream Chasers, we interview individuals with supernatural amounts of potential based on early success in their careers. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's get straight to the interview. Hey guys, this is Adam Carswell, and today I'm joined by Ellis Hammond. Ellis is an impact investor and a real estate investor. He's originally from Charleston, South Carolina, went to Presbyterian College in Clinton, South Carolina, and he now lives in central San Diego, California, which also San Diego happens to be my favorite city in America. Ellis, thank you for being on the show today, and do you have any opening remarks for our listeners?
Adam, man, I'm so pumped to be here on this podcast. You said Clinton wrong. They actually say Clinton, where the T is sweet and the T is silent, man. So had to give a shout out to that place. Yeah, I really think I'm going to be on here. You said an impact investor. Just maybe I could give a few words on that if that's cool. I'm the director of a Christian nonprofit that focuses on building Christ-centered leaders on the college campus. And so I think for the last 5 years, my investment has been in the lives of college students, really helping them engage spiritually and then really become established, equipped leaders. And then we really want to launch them out into the world to kind of bring renewal and wherever they're at. And we could maybe get to this later, but as of recent, I've also become a real estate investor. And I'm managing a private network of investors who are investing in private syndications, really focused on cash flow and appreciation. But it's definitely my experience, or I guess it is who I am to be an investor. I want to invest in the lives of people. I want to invest in my community. And so I just think that, man, that's kind of what I've coined impact investor, because that's kind of who I've been all my life, I think.
Yeah, that's cool. I've heard the phrase actually. I think it's starting to become a little bit of a more common word that we're seeing I've heard impact investing somewhere before today, but I can't remember where or how. When I think of it now, you will be the first face that I think of, but it does seem like it's something that, like a movement that's starting. I guess you can consider yourself like a pioneer, right?
Yeah, I don't know about, I'm sure it's been coined before and a lot of people call themselves that. And I'm sure everyone has their different definition of it, right? But I love that people are starting to think about making an impact and not just building wealth, because what's the point, And so, if it's being used by multiple people, I love that, as long as that's the real heart behind it, that the goal is to really create impact for not just ourselves and our own families, but other people as well.
Cool. Ellis, how long have you been running your business?
Yeah, really. I've been the director of this nonprofit for the last 5 years, but the real estate investing really has been going on for about the last year and a half, and really more actively investing in real estate for the last year.
Okay. Now, with that being said, Ellis, when did you realize that this was something that you wanted to take to the next level?
Yeah, dude. That's such a good question. Really, man. And the reason I like to share, I know you asked me to be on this podcast to really talk about the real estate business, but I think I have to share the nonprofit story with you a little bit, because I wouldn't have gotten here without that. It was seeing the needs of our nonprofit and individuals in our nonprofit. We, like most nonprofits, we raise funds from family and friends and churches and, external networks. And it was this experience, kind of seeing the needs of our team and seeing the needs of the nonprofit world, that I had a mindset shift. Like, it went from thinking about building wealth for retirement to how can I use my wealth right now, right? To leverage that to create impact. And I think with my own parents, the only way I saw investing was mutual funds and a Roth IRA. And so when I had a little bit of money to invest, that's kind of the track that I went with. And that was the only options I was given. But I don't know, man, for some reason and really because of my experience and what I was seeing in my daily life, I was just like, I want to do something now. How can I use the wealth that I have right now to make an impact? And so that was when I was like, let's take this thing to the next level. Like, I want to bring other people in this, because I have a vision and a mission to go and invest in, larger commercial real estate. I can't do that on my own. So that's when I began to kind of bring really an already existing network and the people that were supporting our ministry to say, hey, let's go do something else, right? Let's go take this resources God's given us and let's go leverage that for more good.
Nice. And I like the picture that you paint there, because it sort of broadens your audience as well, right? You're focused on developing the lives of those in a place in life where maybe you used to be. At the same time, you also want to speak with someone who's, a few years down the line, a sophisticated investor who's ready to go to ellishammond.com and take this thing to the next level. So who's your ideal person that you kind of want to hear this interview or to be listening to this conversation?
I think there's two crowds. I mean, the young entrepreneur like myself, who's hungry to grow, who's hungry to learn, who's hungry to make an impact. I always got time to talk to that person, because I wouldn't be here without people investing in my life. Like yourself, man, you introduced me to the right people when we first met, and taking that time, that was the connections that even you introduced me to were so huge. So I always got time for that person. And then I also I think maybe the person who's a little bit farther down the road, who is beginning to build some wealth, who's looking to create some passive income to give them some more financial freedom, or just build wealth to make an impact. Those are the people that I want to talk to. So that's kind of my two targets.
And now, Ellis, that we have your targets defined, behind that, what is your why?
Yeah, I think it goes back to what I just said, man, and kind of being in this world, the nonprofit, or being in the nonprofit world, it stems from that. Like I've always, since I was 19, at least, that's when I became a Christian, and I feel like my why really changed. I want to make an impact, man. I got one life. I want to use it. And I really do want to invest in the lives of especially young leaders, and see the type of change that they can bring. I really believe kind of in the next generation of leaders, man. And so that's my why, is let's figure out more ways to give young leaders an opportunity to really grow and be a blessing. This generation, man, has got a lot. They just need the older generation to help them and to kind of leverage them in a sense.
Yeah, and I agree with what you're saying, especially based on examples and results. I mean, I've seen kids on LinkedIn now that have come through your pipeline that you're highlighting and helping push into their professional career. And you can see it, because I know sometimes you'll share their posts. You can see it in their emotion that they're putting into this.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, wow, this kid is really like, Ellis lit a fire out of him.
Dude, it's awesome, man. Like, and I was just reading a LinkedIn post the other day, and they were talking, the millennials get so much slack. But I think the reason millennials get so much slack is because we're doing it different. Like we're not scared to do something different. We're, the 9 to 5, just because we don't work a 9 to 5 doesn't mean that we're not hungry to grow, And so definitely, man, I'm right there with you. That millennials, I just think that we have seen a model that we say, we don't like that model. We don't want to spend 50 to 60 hours at our job and then not be able to have time for the things that we love and we're passionate about. Let's find another way to be able to do this.
Ellis, what are the downsides to your business, being in the space that you're in, and what are some of the positives?
Hey, I love this question. I'm so excited to answer this one. Dude, this industry takes hustle, and no one is going to do the work for you. That's the downside. The downside is that this industry takes hustle, and rarely is there a blueprint for absolute success. Like you have to be willing to do the work that no one else wants to do. I mean, even last night, like I'm kind of working my day job, and I come home and I'm on Facebook scraping emails. You know what I'm saying? Like this is 11 o'clock at night. My wife's already in bed, and I'm scraping emails to try and grow my network so that I can get more of my content out there. It takes hustle. You have to be willing to do the work no one else wants to do, or you have to be creative enough and resourceful enough to get other people to do the work that you don't want to do. So we got college students, man, that we're bringing on and say, hey, we can't pay you right now. We'll pay you later if you can get in this. When we start making money, we'll make you money. So that would be the downside, man, is that it takes hustle. But I also think that's the upside, or the positive, is that it levels the playing field. I love meeting people in the real estate investing world, because these are not your Ivy League boys and girls, right? Like I'll give you an example, I think real quick. Just how I can relate this. Like when I played college football at Presbyterian College, and I was at best average, right? And so, but I was playing at a D1 level, and so I was playing at these guys were really, really good. And so when we went out to practice every day, I had to go 100% all the time. But the dudes I was playing with, they could go at 70% and get away with it, right? Because they were exceptional athletes. And so I think over time for me, what that did, that just kind of wore my body down. I actually had 2 injuries my junior and senior year that didn't allow me to play. But the way that I relate that is that their talent, because of what they, who they were, how God had made them, whatever, they were allowed to kind of get away with some things. And they even could excel because of that. In real estate, man, the playing field is so even. Like I love being in this field, because dudes like me, and even the people that I know, some of my heroes, they've got to where they are because of hustle. Yes, of course, there are those with exceptional talent, like Hunter. I think we both know Hunter. He's such a smart guy. Ryan Smith is another hero of mine. The upside in real estate investing and being in the real estate world is that those who excel are those who are just hungry to grow, and who are really resourceful, I would say, and don't mind kind of giving up some of the juice to partner with others, because you can leverage that talent.
Mm-hmm.
The people who are talented, the people who do have talent that maybe you don't have, when you mess with a big enough fruit, right, there's enough juice for it to go around for everyone. Those are some upsides for me for sure.
Cool. One of the best quotes I heard recently about resourcefulness is, hey, in 2019, resourcefulness is the ultimate resource.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
that was from Eli Facenda, who I think he's in episode 23 or 24. You have to check him out. Actually, he's a really cool guy. I would consider him like in our playing field, 27, 28,
Yeah.
30.
You make a good point. Like you got like real estate, especially since we're talking about real estate, it is for so long traditionally been an old man's game. And so there is so much potential in technology and social media that a lot of these old timers who, they have the portfolios, they don't have the skills, or they don't know how to put the people around them to kind of leverage the new wave of technology, the new wave of social media. And so I just think there are some really big doors that could be open for those who are creative and have hustle and can really, like I said, if you don't have that talent, put somebody around you who does. And so big opportunities there.
Yep, exactly. Opportunity to be resourceful, use what you have and leverage it. So Ellis, what industry leaders and role models are you inspired by?
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple of guys we probably know together. Hunter Thompson is, I wouldn't say hero yet, but definitely a model, a mentor for me. He's
If it
really
wasn't
given
for
me
him,
a
we
lot in
probably
this
wouldn't be
space.
having this conversation.
100%, man,
Right.
100%. He's given so much to this game, but also to me personally. Ryan Smith is another guy that I look up to.
Yeah,
We
great
met
guy.
at a conference and just love the way he does business and the way his faith influences his work and what he's done something big because he had a dream, he had a vision, and he acted on it. And so that was really huge.
And
I think
he's been winning since like day one too. He came out with like some killer software when he was like 13 years old or something like that.
Yeah, actually, I saw him the other night. I was like, hey man, when did you start? When did you know you wanted to start a business? He's like, when I was 13. He's like, I knew it then, man. I was starting a business in my house. I was like, there you go. I think also though, like my staff team, the people that work for my nonprofit, those are my heroes, man, because they have given up a big chunk of their lives when everyone else is out pursuing their careers, pursuing money and financial freedom. They have given their lives to invest in the next generation of people. That's impact. Those people, man, deserve to be rewarded at some point, rather now or later. Those are my heroes. Those are the people I do this for. And so thankful to have kind of spent the majority of my 20s around people like that who are wanting to give their life to something much bigger.
Yeah, it's good to be in that environment, and I'm sure it'll all pay off for everyone eventually. So that's if not right now. Ellis, where do you see yourself in the next 3 years?
Man, Adam, I'm asking myself that right now, bro. If I can be honest, that's such a good question. I don't think I have a great answer for that, but I will say this. I have goals for this year, and I believe that if I can continue to act on those goals, that's going to bring me clarity for the next 3 years. And so really what I'm calling this year is my momentum year. I'm focused on building my network first of advisors. Like I want to put the best and most connected people in this space in my inner circle. And so a lot of the guys I just talked about, those are big time dudes, man.
Who's your one, I think one of your coach, Josh Wilson?
Yeah, Joshua Wilson.
I saw his quote about the board of advisors, and I want to highlight that real quick here on this episode just to spread the word, because that's something that I'm actually working on because I saw that post that you put up. So thank you. But can you, sorry to cut you off on your 3-year goals. We'll get back to it, but please, can you explain what I'm talking about to the listeners?
The 30-day thing or his advice?
I guess actually, now that you mentioned it, we should talk about both because they're both very powerful. But I guess let's start with his advice and then also touch on the 30-day thing.
Well, this is his advice to me, and he continues to harp on this. And his advice was for young entrepreneurs, or for anyone really, that the most important thing we can do is build a team of advisors around us. And that makes sense at a lot of levels. I mean, of course, we know that provides a safeguard, right, for our lives, that we need people speaking into our lives, and we have to be humble enough to receive that. And so there's some obvious reasons of building a team of advisors. But man, kind of from a strategic even point of view, building a team of advisors, it connects you to their networks. Like in Josh's, I've coined this phrase from him. He always says, if you ask for money, you get advice. But if you ask for advice, you get money, right? Like people much more want to help you and give advice way before they ever want to give you money. And so building a team of advisors, say, hey, you have gone ahead of me. I want to learn from you. Please share some advice with me. Even, hey, would you even mind maybe serving as an advisor where I could reach out to you once a month and check in? That right there will set you far ahead, far above anyone else, building a team of advisors, and go after the big dudes, go after the big ladies, And so the influencers.
And take action.
Yeah.
Like just do it, right?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, LinkedIn, man, like we both are on LinkedIn because we see the power in it. This 30 for 30, I know we're going to talk later about how I'm using LinkedIn. Should I say that? Should I answer it?
Yeah. Let's get it now.
30 for 30, it's something actually my coach had me do, and it's been so awesome. Simply reaching out to people that I really respect, and it is an opportunity for me to bless my LinkedIn network. But what's been also cool about it is that I get to interact with some really influential people in this space. And really simply all I'm doing is say, hey, I have this 30 for 30 encouragement challenge. My goal is to bless my LinkedIn network. I'm simply looking for one piece of advice that you might give to a young entrepreneur. And then they'll send me an advice, and I get to put their photo and their name on my LinkedIn page, which goes out to all of their networks. And here we get to see me linked with another, high influencer in this space. But it also, what it does, it kind of strokes the ego of that person that I'm highlighting, and now they've had a good experience with Ellis, and they say, wow, Ellis is a good dude. Like Ellis, he's really serious about growing his network. He's really serious about helping his network. And so it's putting me also in a good light in front of some people that I really, that I would never be able to get in front of, or never be able to have a conversation with, never get in front of their network without a tool like LinkedIn. So to take action, if you're not on LinkedIn and you're hungry to grow, you are missing out.
Yeah, completely validate that. To get back to answering our question here, Ellis, you're starting to open up about it, but yeah, where did you say you're going to see yourself in 3 years?
I think I said I don't know, but I said what I've coined, or what I'm doing is, this is my momentum year, is my goal.
Right.
And I'm focused on building like I said, a great team of advisors. And I'm focused on helping as many people I know experience a win, meaning a return on investment in real estate through private syndication. I want to help as many of my friends, as many of my family members, as many people on LinkedIn have a win in real estate this year. And I don't care about how much money I make this year. I really don't. That's not the goal. For me, it's all about momentum. If at the end of this year, people know me as the dude that they can come to, they trust, and that they can have a great experience and be invested in some top A class assets that are producing income. That's my goal. I'll worry about 3. If I can focus on that this year, I think in 3 years, I'm going to be where I need to be.
Agreed. And maybe not all A class assets, maybe some B class with some value add, right?
Yeah, exactly. My target, man. A and B class apartments, that's what we're looking at. But I would say those are class A investments in the sense that low risk or low to moderate risk, great cash producing, income producing assets. So yes, A and B, man, A and B, you got to know that.
Yeah. And this, to me, this is one thing that I love about real estate, and clearly you get it, but it's a business that I would say it's a business if you do it right. That's based on building long-term relationships and working relationships and building trust. And that's seen all across the board in business everywhere. I just feel like it's so much more prominent in real estate though, and especially in investing, because, you're going into deals with people for 3, 5, 10, maybe more years. You got to be able to comfortably eat dinner or have a conversation with whoever you're working with. 100%.
And those who have that mindset, they last, right? And so it's a long game. Yona Weiss, who is also an influencer on LinkedIn, he just shared that on my 30 for 30. He said, business is about people. Business is people, right? And so I just thought that was excellent advice that I know we hear that a lot, but I don't think we often act on that as much as we should.
Yeah, got to keep acting. Okay, so we're almost done here. I want to see if we still get enough time to squeeze all these in, because I know you're excited to answer them, and I'm excited to hear your answer. So let's see how quickly we can do it. Can you give an example of something that maybe you would have done differently looking back? Something for an aspiring entrepreneur.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to look back too far because I feel like I'm still young and aspiring in a lot of ways. So, but I would have done 2 things. I would have had, you have to become evangelistic about your passion. Like, you have to start telling everyone what it is that you want to accomplish. I am an evangelist in some way, but I've kind of translated that into my business as well. Like, you have to tell everyone. The way that I got into real estate is because I was telling all my friends, hey, I'm looking to buy a duplex. That's how we got started. I was in a duplex. I'm looking to buy a duplex. We have money. We're ready to buy a duplex. And finally, I met this one guy. I was like, hey man, you need to meet my landlord. It was that connection, meeting his landlord, him and I struck up a friendship. He was the guy who showed me my first real estate deal. And not only did he show me my first real estate deal, he did a lot more. I mean, he built cabinets for me. He was the general contractor essentially for my project. It's because I was evangelistic about what I was trying to do. And I think that is so key. You have to get out there. You cannot be shy. You have to be passionate about your cause. That would be one. And then the second thing, man, you got to find a mentor. Find multiple mentors that will take your game. That alone can 10x your game. I would have not got started in this space without a mentor. Or let me take that back. I might have gotten started, but I probably would have burned out or given up because I would have done everything wrong, right? And so a mentor, man, finding mentors, and not just one mentor, but building a team of mentors. The mentors I have now and kind of around my goals are different than when I first got into the game, right? Like I had a mentor who was helpful to get me started, but now that my goals and my visions are growing, I need new mentors. I need people who have gone there. So that would be my two things, man. Be evangelistic about your passion and go and get mentors or advisors around you. Do that now. Like quit listening to this if you're a young aspiring entrepreneur, and start posting on LinkedIn and posting on Instagram and telling your friends about what you're excited about doing, and go build a team of advisors.
All right, Ellis, we're going to get to know you on another level now. I got 3 fun questions for you, and one ties in greatly with everything we've talked about so far. The first one is, what's your favorite way to interact with your network on LinkedIn? The second one is, what is your favorite kind of cookie? And then the third one is, what is your favorite Bible verse?
All right, listen, be quick. We've talked a lot about LinkedIn, so I won't go into too many details. Figure out ways to bring value to your network. And I think LinkedIn's a great way to do that. Build your network there. You can have, I think, 30,000 followers on LinkedIn. Find ways to add value. The 30-day encouragement challenge, if you need some inspiration, go check out my LinkedIn profile and just copy what I did, and reach out to people and ask them for advice and highlight them on your LinkedIn. Have a target and try and bless them. That's the best thing I can say about how to interact with people. The cookie, listen, I'm not a sweet person. I'm much more kind of a savory type of dude, but I'm really picky about my cookies, man. If you can give me the perfect chocolate chip cookie, I will crush some chocolate chip cookies. You know, a little crispy on the outside, gooey on the inside. There's no doubt, man. I could eat those all day long. And favorite Bible verse, that's actually pretty easy for me because this was kind of life-changing for me in college. It's Matthew 13:44, and I even memorized this verse. It says, the kingdom of heaven is like a treasure that's hidden in a field in which a man finds and he covers up. And it says that in his joy, he goes and sells all that he has in order to buy that field. And I love that verse. I love that mindset that what God is saying that the kingdom of heaven is like, it's something that's supposed to be joyful, that's supposed to give you excitement to go and give up everything. And so, man, that applies to my faith. That was life-changing for me in college when I realized that what I thought religion was just duty, and religion are rules, and that totally transformative for me. But I think it applies to so much more, man. If your religion doesn't bring you joy and freedom, get out, right? You got the wrong religion. If your job isn't bringing you that type of joy, get out, right? Go figure out how to get out of that job so you can go and do something that is worth living for. Your relationships, if you're not around the right people, man, who are bringing you up, like there is a better treasure out there to be experienced, right? And what that verse is saying is, in order to go experience that, though, you normally have to give something up. Like this guy had to go sell everything he had in order to buy this field. And so I love that verse, man, because it's just so, I think, practical for faith, but also life in general, man.
I agree. And hey, you got to wear your faith on your sleeve. You got to let everyone know what you're about. And, that faith, that belief system, that spirituality, personally, that's what's going to take you to the next level.
Yeah,
and
man, well.
When I see someone like you who's out there just spitting fire, I'm like, hey, myself.
Come on, man. I love it. I love being connected. I know, look forward to doing a lot of good things together in the future.
Absolutely. Well, Ellis, thank you for joining us. What's the best way anyone can get in touch with you after listening to this interview?
Yeah, sure. LinkedIn. That's the best way to probably interact with me is LinkedIn. Maybe you can put that link in the profile. And then also, if you're interested in just learning more about kind of our private investing network, the type of assets we invest in or want to get involved, ellishammond.com. you can go there and check that out. It's pretty simple. So those are the best ways. Look forward to hearing from you.
All right. Thank you. Guys, this has been Ellis Hammond on Dream Chasers, Interviews with the Future. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next episode. And remember, in all you think, say, and do, take it to the next level.